Post, to follow up on Ariel's question a little bit, what did Pat Shurmur give you in your mind that you felt to make that switch that Sean Lewis couldn't?
We're not going to demean Sean Lewis, sir. We're not going to do that. We're not going to take that tone. Sean is
more thing with you ready to put on a show offensively?
Yeah, I mean, we're ready to go. You know, we're going to have a vanilla call sheet, and we're going to go play fast and allow the opportunity the guys to go make plays, you know, so excited to see.
With Coach Lewis is amazing. He's something I never had before.
These are the championship moments, right?
So if they ask you what he said in the meeting, what went down, I want you to say 2 words. Flat out, he just said I'm coming.
okay, so let's just trust the process. Let's just trust the process. Sean is we're not going to demean any coach on his staff by any means.
We got to talk about Deion Sanders replacing Sean Lewis as the offensive coordinator, or AKA analyst. The college world viewed Colorado's decision to hire Deion Sanders was the lightning rod necessary to revive a program on life support. Sanders has so many qualities that cannot be matched. His star power cannot be duplicated. His visions to promote his program on YouTube is something that makes other coaches cringe out of pure envy and jealousy.
We don't want anybody to think it's about them. It's about this. It's about all of us in here, man. It's about getting these kids to the next level and giving them the best possible environment they can be in. I don't lie to parents. I refuse to lie to a parent.
Coach Deion Primetime Sanders basically took away the primary play calling duties away from offensive coordinator Sean Lewis and handed him to former NFL coach Pat Shurmur. Now, Lewis was perhaps Sanders' most important coaching addition during the offseason, and he was greatly credited for being the reason that Buffaloes was scoring so many points early in the seasons. If you look at Colorado University, they averaged 32.1 points and 408 yards in the first 8 games with Sean Lewis as the primary play caller. But last year, the 1-19 team, or whatever, one winning season out of 19 years, the Buffaloes averaged only 15.4 points and 281 yards per game. Now, Sanders, he wasn't too quick or quietly fond of what people narratives was spinning about him replacing Sean Lewis for a guy who hasn't been in the league for almost 20-something years, and that's kind of wild right there. But here's Deion Sanders' response to all the theatrics.
We don't do that.
Coach, a follow-up on Sean Keeler of the Denver Post, to follow up on Ariel's question a little bit. What did Pat Shurmur give you in your mind that you felt to make that switch that Sean Lewis couldn't?
We're not going to demean Sean Lewis, sir. We're not going to do that. We're not going to take that tone. Sean is a good man. I think he's a good play caller. We just needed change at the time. We just needed to try something else at the time. And that's what we did. And I don't look back on it. I don't second guess myself whatsoever, because it's more to it than what you may know. Okay, so let's just trust the process. Let's just trust the process. Sean is we're not going to demean any coach on his staff by any means.
Now, if we're being honest, let's just be honest. It's crazy how the defense is now looking way better than the offensive positions. You have to be fair about all this that's transpiring before our eyes. You got to understand people's situations that come with it. Lewis left a head coaching job at Kent State to call plays at Colorado. Then for only Coach Prime Sanders to take the play sheets out of Lewis' hand and replace him with a coach who hadn't been an assistant at the college level for over 25 years. The results of this change were exactly what you'd expect. Colorado lost to Oregon State on Saturday night, 26-19. The offense managed only 238 total yards, a chunk of which occurred late in the game when the Buffaloes were trying to erase a 2-score deficit and were facing a soft Beavers defense at that, I may add. Quarterback Shedeur Sanders still got beaten up, and Colorado's offense rushed for -7 yards.
Working with Coach Lewis is amazing. He's something I never had before.
These are the championship moments, right? All the hard work that they've put in this spring really come to fruition in front of our fans and obviously a great national television audience, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Do you have a spring ball at this point? One more thing if you're ready to put on a show offensively?
Yeah, I mean, we're ready to go. You know, we're going to have a vanilla call sheet, and we're going to go play fast and allow the opportunity the guys to go make plays, you know. So excited to see the guys compete and, you know, see all the hard work that they've put in this spring really come to fruition in front of our fans. And
now, there was a lot of rumors circulating that this had nothing to do with on-game decisions when Prime got rid of Sean Lewis as the offensive coordinator. This had everything to do with Sean trying to run the offense and going behind the back of Deion Sanders, allegedly. When you look at this receipt I'm about to show you right here, it shows why the moves that Sanders made actually became visible. This was before any of the decision happened. You can see what he wrote here. My completely unfounded but enjoyable to me theory: Lewis actually wanted to run the ball more than like 4 times per game, but got yelled at anytime he took the ball out of Shedeur Sanders' hand. Now, that only could be one person who could release that information, and that would be a former head coach such as Sean Lewis, because he made that move to leave Kent State, you can best believe, to get more notices from Power 5 teams, and he will get that based on the improvement of the offense and the schemes they were doing. But that alone tells you there were certain trust and loyalties that didn't basically get done at Colorado when it came to the staff, and the staff in question would be Sean Lewis.
Okay, before a national televised game, before a sellout crowd. So you call it what you want. Okay, so it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Sanders says Nico.
Now, how did Sanders feel strongly enough to fix one thing that, frankly, you can all agree it wasn't even broken? We're not going to demon Sean Lewis, Sanders said. He said we're not going to take that tone, Sanders said. Sean is a good man. I think he's a good play caller. We just needed a change at that time that we did what we did, and we needed to do it. We needed to try something else at that time, and that's what we did. I don't look back on it. I don't second guess myself whatsoever, because there's more to it than what you know and what you may know and not even understand. Let's just trust the process, and let's just trust the process. He says it right here.
Howard from the
Yes, sir.
Camera. With that, notice Tim Brewster didn't have a headset on tonight. Is he the coach that's now an analyst?
Well, yes, you got to understand now, you only get so many coaches in college football. So when you make a move like we made, that means someone has to, I don't call it demotion. I think move, everybody's making the same amount of money. So when you get demoted, that's a hit on your check. So it's a movement that we had to make. I think we use how many tight ends in the games? So think about that. It's the proper move. You got to think about that.
Now, what we're trying to figure out is, did more happen behind the scenes? Basically, Lewis and Sanders must have had a fundamental disagreement about how much Colorado was attempting to run the football. Sanders didn't offer much insight as to how he arrived at the decision, but he did acknowledge that we might not understand it, and that's the problematic situation in it, because let's not forget about it. This is problematic. Maybe Sanders' house has tinted windows, but there has been no other college football program more exposed to public viewing than Colorado. I love what basically Joe Klatt had to speak about when this notoriety and fame comes to Colorado. Either you're critiquing them way too much because of who Prime is, or you're extra giving them credit because of who Coach Prime is. Here is Joe Klatt.
Let me backtrack for a moment. If someone wants to paint Colorado and Deion Sanders in a negative light, it's going to be that times 10 because of the Prime effect. If someone wants to paint him in a positive light, it's going to be that times 10 because of the Prime effect. So, and Deion Sanders in the negative.
Let's be honest even more. Deion Sanders made a rash decision. That decision didn't lead to some offensive renaissance, and it most assuredly feels like Lewis will be one and done in Boulder. Let's just be honest about it. This is the type of move only a desperate coach would make. I rock with Deion Sanders. I'm not saying anything against him. That's why I'm bizarre at this move, and I'm only saying only a desperate coach will make this move if it is a football decision, and I don't believe it was a football decision. I believe Deion knows more than what he's saying, and that's why I kind of somewhat respect it, because it probably is something that goes more further than football, as we were saying before. Because if this is a football decision, it's like, huh? But what was the reason for Colorado's desperation to do this move? There are still 3 games remaining in the regular season, and Colorado has already easily surpassed last year's win total. Colorado has been a resounding success this year, in large part because it has been so entertaining to watch Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, Jimmy Horn, and Dylan Edwards cook on the field. I'm talking about cooking on offense like it ain't nothing to see here. This is why you got the response that Deion Sanders did to the media, because if you look at it in hindsight, Sanders seems to be concerned about how people viewed his decision to demote Lewis. Therefore, I know it's deeper than what they aren't saying. It gotta be. It's something that goes so deep. He's probably doing a favor for Sean Lewis instead of taking it publicly, because if he takes the truth publicly, it will hurt the coaching career of Sean Lewis.
Partner with action. Belief comes with action, faith without works is dead. That's what my book tells me. So you got to have, it's okay to have that faith that you believe, but I got to see the action behind it. And that's what we challenge the young men to come out in the second half and show us the action of the belief, not just sit up there and say, oh, we going to win. That's easy to say, but we need to see the action behind it.
Listen, when a coach says, you've got to understand you only get so many coaches in college football. So when you make a move like we made, that means someone has to, I don't call it demotion, I say move. That's what Sanders said. He also said, I think everybody is making the same amount of money. When you get demoted, that's a hit on your check. It's a movement that we had to make. Deion Sanders is not holding back. That's why I personally think something definitely skeptic happened behind the scenes. When he says had to, really? Maybe. Well, we'll have to blindly just trust Deion Sanders on this one. He'll tell you repeatedly to trust the process, and to his credit, the process has resulted and resonated basically in more improvement in a short amount of time that most people didn't even expect to be made or created. But listen, this move is kind of concerning if you're a fan of them, because more than anyone that is speaking on this, a lot of people are brushing it aside and against the carpet floor rug. Like, Colorado is dealing with a lot of personal issues, and on the offensive line, that coaching can't even fix. So he literally spoke about it last week and indicating that the talent.
What are you surrendering? What you giving up right now? These folks still playing football, and we in here in the darn meeting. So obviously there's a problem, right? I'm gonna fix it. So if they ask you what he said in the meeting, what went down, I want you to say the 2 words. Flat out, he just said I'm coming.
Listen, for Sanders' world, talent is everything. And last week, he did indicate that improving the talent level up, basically front, is the chief off-season task. And he knows the offensive lines needs to be fixed. But basically, man, Colorado even hosted 5-star offensive lineman Jordan Seaton for an official visit for the Oregon State game. It makes you wonder if these are the type of decisions that could derail such a promising start to a program that basically was built and seem as hopeless prior to Sanders coming there. Now, me personally, I have no issues with Sanders doing this move. A lot of coaches make coaching changes, and you don't see this much rhetoric. It goes back to what Joe Klatt was saying. When you have a name bigger than life like Deion Sanders, aka Prime, everything will get blown up and become bigger than what it is. It comes with the territory. This is great things to get notoriety and attention for Colorado football team. Listen, I'm DJ Bless One. Love your family, love your kids, and stay blessed. Smash that like button, hit that notification bell, and thank you for rocking out with our program over here, the I Smoke Hip Hop Live. We'll keep you covered and have many great things to say. What are your opinions in the comment section? Salute.
You won one darn game, but you want to look good. How does that happen? What was the word of the day? Reciprocation. That means I'm going to want something because I'm giving you something, right? Yes, sir. I want mine right now. I want my work right now. I need my energy right now. I need my passion right now. I need my purpose right now. I need my want right now. I need my will right now. I need everything you got right now. O-line, D-line coach, it's on you. I don't trust you. And you're not going to be able to practice. So what we're going to do, if you got 3 or 4 Fs, what we're going to do is send you to academics, let you focus on that, and you lose your reps on this, so somebody have an opportunity to take your job and take your number. We